BFDI, there were 21 contestants, and in BFDIA, 12 of them got voted back to return for another season. And in this video, I'm going to be comparing all of them to Season 1 and see how they performed compared to their Season 1 appearance. I'm going to be going from who got eliminated the earliest to who got eliminated the last based off the placements. And if you want me to do this with other seasons and you like the video, I'd be happy to do so. First is Pin, who placed 20th in BFDI and is still competing in BFDIA. In BFDI, Pin was the 5th player voted out, and it's not that surprising to see. When you look at the small amount of episodes Pin is actually in, Pin comes off as very bossy and likes to demand orders around to other teammates, and can be very rude, especially to characters like Woody. Pin was actually really good in the challenges though, earning herself 2 win tokens, but that did not matter, and it still ended up to her being eliminated. Something I find very interesting is that Pin barely got any votes in either of her rejoin, but ended up getting the 11th most votes to come back into the game. However, what got Pin from being the 5th eliminated to 8th place and so on? Pin has actually become one of the most loved characters in all of BFDIA, never being in the bottom 2, and I don't know if this is going for BFDIA 17, I haven't looked at the votes before the actual episode comes out, but as of BFDIA 16, she has not been in a single bottom 2 and has never gotten relatively close to being eliminated. Pin's personality did do a pretty big shift, becoming a lot nicer, and then slowly into the season she kind of just starts getting bullied, getting her limbs removed, then her face removed, then getting shrunk, then getting sent down into some like weird, like, I don't even know where she got sent down to, some weird like lava land where everyone becomes like a human. But now Pin is becoming more normal again, and the real reason I believe why Pin jumped so high from her first season placement was because of her huge personality change. But last episode, she was acting a lot more mean and rude to other contestants like Nickel, and I feel like if this does continue, I would not be surprised if Pin got eliminated very soon, or if this is just a one episode thing. Next up, we have Needle, who placed 19th in BFDI and is still competing in BFDIA. Now, Needle's elimination is a little unique because it was under some weird circumstances, because in the episode Needle was eliminated in, they all got split up into teams of 3 and only 3 characters were put up for elimination, and she got put up against Ice Cube and Coiny, who were fan favorites at the time. And it wasn't like she was going against her whole team like the other eliminations, and if that were the case, she definitely was not going to get out that early. But it was not very surprising of her joining BFDIA, unlike Pin, because Needle came 2nd in her first rejoin, and I believe 3rd or 4th in the second one. Needle ended up getting the 8th most votes to come back into BFDIA, and all of Needle's time in BFDIA, she's also never really been at risk of getting eliminated, except during Yellowface's elimination when she was 3rd in the voting, but I mean, it was nothing really crazy when no one ever thought she was going to get eliminated. Needle has been a super strong competitor in all of the challenges, and I believe that is why Needle has become so liked over this season. Needle is super fun to watch, and she has dynamics with the Woe Bunch and the Free Smart, so she balances between both of those alliances, and it can build her character and popularity a lot of having relationships with multiple characters, so it means multiple fan bases and multiple characters will like that character. Again, I have no idea what the BFDI 17 voting is looking like, but I do believe this is a good episode for Needle. I think Needle had a very good comedic type of episode, bouncing from Free Smart and Woe Bunch, inevitably giving Nickel the win. Earlier in the season, I would have thought Needle had been in more risk for betraying Woe Bunch and also becoming 3rd in the elimination votes. That was a pretty big red flag, but I think Needle's been getting better and better each episode, and I think Needle gets more and more fans each episode, and I do think Needle will make it very far in the season. Again, I haven't looked at the votes, so I might seem like an idiot, but that is just my opinion. Next, we have Teardrop. That is the first eliminated contestant we are going to be reviewing, and this is also going to be a very, very controversial one for both eliminations. Teardrop's elimination was a very unique spot in the season where the 2 people voted from the losing team got picked from the winning team, and the winning team got to pick who they wanted on their team, and Teardrop ended up not getting picked over Snowball, and Teardrop ended up being eliminated even though Snowball did get the most viewer votes. So that was already a controversial elimination enough, and then her BFDI elimination was even worse. She ended up getting 20th place, which was worse than their season 1 placement, and it was because people told their viewers that didn't even watch BFDI, allegedly, to go vote out Teardrop so Coiny would still stay in the game. So it's kind of hard to assess on why Teardrop got voted out in either season to begin with, when really Teardrop didn't deserve it either way, but the only reason why I could say they got votes to begin with in either one is because of the same issues. Teardrop doesn't talk, and there was not that much character in Teardrop like there is now. I would say there was a good amount of character in Teardrop at the time, but definitely not as much as BFB and the TPOT the time she was in TPOT. But again, Teardrop, that is a very sticky situation to get into. Next up, we have Golf Ball, who finished 17th in their first season and then 11th in BFDIA. So, an improvement, but not a huge jump or anything spectacular. Golf Ball's elimination was also during the 3-team era, and she got put against Rocky, but she did end up getting more votes than Rocky, and she still ended up getting rid of that anyways, so I wouldn't really say this elimination was unfair. And the main reason why Golf Ball was eliminated was because of her bossy attitude. I would say basically the same reason as Pin, but I would say honestly performed worse in the challenges. But I believe why Golf Ball placed better in the second time she played was because I feel like the viewers understood her comedic value more than they did the first time the season was running. Golf Ball did become more funny, and her and Tennis Ball's relationship did have more plot relevance, especially with the yo-yo light. But I feel like her gag got old and the fans got tired of it, so Golf Ball did end up getting eliminated. Next up we have Coiny. Coiny placed in 16th in BFDI Season 1 and is still competing in BFDIA. And the reason why I believe Coiny got eliminated in Season 1 is pretty obvious, and Coiny was still has the same personality you could say as he does now, but his main stick was just slapping Firey the whole time, and obviously Firey was a fan favorite, so people aren't really going to like that. And when their team lost again, and at that time it was just Coiny, Firey, and Tennis Ball. Tennis Ball and Firey were pretty fan favorites at the time, so it was inevitable that Coiny was going to get voted out. But despite getting votes, Coiny was actually still a fan favorite, and fans didn't want to see him go. He got 4th place in the rejoin votes, and then got the 14th most votes to come compete in BFDIA. And through BFDIA, he has definitely become a fan favorite. His personality is very sarcastic and quick-witted and kind of stupid, and it just makes him a really funny character, and that's basically his main stick. He's also a really loyal friend to Pin, but that's really it, showing not much loyalty to Bommy after their elimination, and not really any loyalty to Needle either. However, Coiny and Pin have gone through thick and thin together, and that's why they're both so loved. I think they balance off each other really well. But I'm not going to say anything crazy like Coiny's going to win, because the last time I said that he got eliminated, so I'm just going to keep my mouth shut. Next up we have Match, who placed 14th in Season 1 and then 19th in Season 2. Match I would never say was a super loved character. Match definitely did get a lot of votes in Season 1, and then obviously ended up getting voted out in Season 2 because of her personality. Wasn't very likable and was kind of rude to characters that weren't in her lines. And then that only increased a lot in Season 2. She wasn't even competing in challenges in Season 2, and she became a very useless and boring character, which ended up leading to her elimination because people wanted to vote her out over more important characters on the team. Not really much to say about Match, except she just became more rude and just a worse character than she already was. Next up we have Tennis Ball. Tennis Ball placed 10th in Season 1 and is still competing in Season 2. And Tennis Ball's elimination is kind of hard to evaluate because he didn't get voted out by the viewers, he was written off the show. So, I don't really know how I could evaluate how Tennis Ball improved in Season 2, but he did, and so I believe why Tennis Ball improved and got less votes than he does in Season 1, because I will say in Season 1 he is in the bottom 2 a lot, and in Season 2 he hasn't been in the bottom 2, and I believe that is because Tennis Ball has become more quirky and more funny, when Tennis Ball was kind of a know-it-all and kind of just followed whatever Golf Ball did, but in Season 2 he definitely became more of an independent character. Also, Tennis Ball has been performing way better in challenges and actually putting in a lot more effort. I do think Tennis Ball's character has evolved a lot in Season 2 and has become a lot more likable, but again, it's hard to tell where Tennis Ball would have placed if it weren't for this contestant vote out. Because I do 100% believe if that wasn't a contestant vote out, I think Rocky would have been voted out by the viewers. Next up we have Pencil, and Pencil went from 9th place to still competing, which is honestly very surprising to me. I really like Pencil and I'm very happy she's still in the game, but I'm surprised the viewers haven't voted her off yet, because the BFDI viewers do like to vote out mean characters or characters that have a bad episode. Pencil's had a lot of bad episodes. Pencil's low-key done a lot of bad things, but is still in the game, and you know what? I'm not complaining about it one bit. I feel like the main thing that I've noticed with Pencil is becoming a lot more, I would say a little more rude, but a lot more dumb and like more arrogant, but in like a funny way. And Pencil's also been killing in challenges. Pencil's always been good at challenges though, so that makes sense. I wouldn't even say that much has changed with Pencil at all since Season 1 from Season 2. I really can't think of anything like major with these other characters. And you know, their placements are very similar. 9th is still very far in Season 1. And I genuinely have no clue if she's getting eliminated this episode or not. I wouldn't be surprised. I feel like it's either down, but again, I haven't looked at the votes, but I feel like it's between Pencil and Pin. But yeah, this is the one character that did better that I can't really think of anything they've like improved on as a character besides being like more funny. And I guess Pencil has become more likable, but like nothing crazy has changed with Pencil's character this season. Next up we have Ice Cube, who went from 7th place to 12th place, and the main reason why Ice Cube placed worse in the second season is pretty obvious. It is because she became way more like rude and like just out of nowhere. She ripped off Pin's face, and that was obviously going to lead to her elimination. She's also getting a lot of votes before that. It was because she was becoming more and more rude and just like a lot less likable than she was in Season 1. Because in Season 1 she was like adorable and cute, and now she's just, I don't know, she's just not what she used to be, and that's what she was known for and liked for. And then when you get rid of that, you become a not so likable character. So that's why Ice Cube got eliminated so early. I mean, not super early, but like early for her. And yeah, it's really not that hard to explain. Next up, we have Rocky. Rocky went from 6th place all the way to 17th place. And the main reason is Rocky never really changed as a character. It just, the gag got old. No pun intended. And Rocky just kept sabotaging their team with the throw up, and then the viewers got sick of it, obviously, and it just got really old super fast again, and then Rocky got eliminated, so, you know, just kind of how it went. Next up is Spongy. He went from 5th place to 13th place, and the same thing with Ice Cube, I'd say, just becoming really rude when his original character and the reason why he got so far is being just like some super adorable and nice character. But he ended up getting eliminated because he ended up being super rude to all of his teammates, wouldn't really help in challenges, and would just kind of just sit there and do absolutely nothing. And yeah, the main reason why he got eliminated so early was because he just became rude. And the last character we're going to be talking about is Firey, making the biggest jump from 1st place in BFDI all the way to 16th in BFDIA. What went wrong? Well, I've come down to 2 conclusions, and that is that Firey and Gelatin, when they switched onto the Free Smart team, they didn't tell the Free Smart members of the challenges, that ended up them being up for elimination, or it's because Firey won the season beforehand, and that is 100% why he got eliminated, because if that were actually the case, Gelatin would have gotten up for elimination too, and would have gotten the 2nd most votes, but he didn't get the 2nd most votes. So I believe it is because Firey won the season before, and people didn't want to see him win again.